Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. This is Chicago Ted coming to you with the Sudamerican Master 4 tournament game between eKeepo and Elite Wolves, a best of three to ring in a new age, or at least a new elimination, as this will be the
10
second
seconds to go.
elimination for the week, and maybe the final elimination for the week with how the
5
brackets
seconds.
go. We'll go back into the upper bracket after this, but for tonight, one of these two teams
Reserve
is going to be
time.
going home, and we're sad to see him go. Sending one of them off with me is going to be Android, joining me on the co-caster. Mike, how you
And
doing?
we're back.
Hey, doing pretty good. Excited to see these series E-Wolves, what we thought to be one of the strongest teams in South America. They're fighting it out here against eKeepo, which is one of the open qualifier teams.
Dyer's
So this is
ban.
going to be a pretty big upset if eKeepo managed to keep going and knock down E-Wolves.
I'm going to have to refresh that. eKeepo was one of the
Radiant's
opens.
ban.
That's a surprise to me. Yes, they
Uh,
were. Wow.
yeah, I think way back when they were a no-name team, and now look at them. They're
Well, season 3, they actually, they were there. And of course, they kind of got stomped out a little bit, and they came back this time
Radiant's
around,
ban.
and mostly with some of the same players, a couple of new faces, but it's been fantastic to watch them. They've been putting up a hell of a fight every single turn, and even though their first matchup didn't quite go their way, they dropped down to, I believe, it was either Not Today or Pain Gaming. Oh, they dropped to Pain Gaming in the
yeah.
first round. So, I mean, they put up a fight and they had a fantastic time, and I'm looking
10
forward to
seconds to
see them
go.
go up against Elite Wolves, who is a team that is considered to be a little bit higher
5
caliber
seconds.
that dropped to Not Today earlier in the tournament. So, I don't know. I honestly think it's
Reserve
anyone's
time.
game. eKeepo have been playing fantastically, and they also have gotten
Bounty
themselves the
hunter.
Invoker.
Yeah, but E-Wolves are
Radiant's
going to go
ban.
ahead and grab themselves up the Bounty Hunter, so they're looking to be on the offensive foot here. eKeepo, they need to get careful not to get crushed on.
Yeah. With the Bounty Hunter pickup right now, you've got an introduced a hero that gives so much early game aggression across the map. I mean, we saw last night the Bounty Hunter get picked up, and the enemy team kind of fell into the trap of one having two
10
pretty squishy
seconds to go.
supports, but two running them in a way that they couldn't protect
5
each other.
seconds.
And when you have lanes like that, the Bounty Hunter can rotate, he can find his ganks, he can get kills, and get that level 6. I mean,
Dyer's
we saw
pick.
a very fast 6.5 minute level 6 on a Bounty Hunter last night. If that gets replicated tonight, Elite Wolves may have a bit of an issue, and they will pick up the Disruptor, one of the two supports that got
Radiant's ban.
demolished last night. So perhaps maybe not learning from the past, or
Dyer's
at the same
ban.
time, maybe they feel like they know how to run this one better. So Elite Wolves, they've got the Lone Druid to follow up the bounty, just someone who's somewhat greedy, but can fight early on and can make a lot of use off of those track
10
kills.
seconds to
Meanwhile,
go.
eKeepo, the Disruptor Invoker combo, has its own merits as being kind of a team
5
fight wombo
seconds.
combo that deals a lot of magical damage and can lock down a group of heroes
Radiant's
pretty
ban.
easily.
Radiant's pick.
I like the Disruptor pickup here. I think the Disruptor Invoker has the potential to have just team fight out the wazoo. In order to completely go with that team fight strategy, what else should eKeepo pick up? Are they looking at like a Tide Hunter in the offlane?
Well, the Tidehunter is a definite possibility. You see Elite Wolves, they banned out the Faceless Void for that, but I could see them going with something like a Witch Doctor as well, just to offer a little bit more of that physical side of
10
the
seconds
damage
to go.
spectrum. But yeah, the Tidehunter is a good pick. The
5
Gyrocopter
seconds.
is a pretty common pick. The Dark Seer is a really common pick with the Disruptor pickup. So
Reserve
anyone
time.
along those lines, as you said, would be kind of following the same path that eKeepo have been going down, which is get that combo up and running. Elite Wolves, I think at this point, if they're not looking for heroes that can stun, like we might be seeing your Vengeful Spirits to save someone caught in the combo or whatnot, they also need to look towards the tankier heroes, the heroes that can man up to the Invoker Disruptor that naturally buy BKBs. It could be that they go for something maybe really greedy this game and grab themselves an Anti-Mage to go against the Disruptor Invoker. Right now, it's just two intelligence heroes that can be pretty vulnerable to that pick if left to free farm.
Yeah, Elite Wolves might have to go for more of that big manly strategy and just run at them, because if this Invoker gets super, super farmed and starts snowballing with kills, he's just going to be able to destroy from the back lines.
Yeah, and that's exactly where he thrives. You got to get him back there. You got to get him on the supports, and really, you bring down the supports, you're left with nothing more to fight with. Elite Wolves, of course, not having their supports picked up just yet. We see very clear from the Lion Band from eKeepo that they don't want to have to deal with one of those. But again, the Venge and the Witch Doctor, two very contested supports, still
Chen.
available in the pool. They are going to go for a little bit more of the
Dyer's pick.
Zookeeper style, though, with the Lone Druid and get themselves a Chen. So this screams Witch Doctor, I think, for eKeepo. Really, there is no reason not to get the hero. Goes so well with the Lone Druid and the Chen, and just incredibly well with two of them. So at the moment, I do honestly think they are going to be picking up the Witch, but along that same line, they probably don't need to pick him up right now.
10 seconds to
If they
go.
were to get a pick here, I'd say
The
they go
Undying
for their off. They're going
waits.
to grab the
Radiant's
Undying, though,
pick.
and I'm not quite sure. I like this pickup. Yes, it offers a little bit of counter push, and it does offer a little bit more team fight. So, I mean, I'm not against it. But at the same time, you've got to look down the line at where the synergy is at, and it's going to allow them to about the 5 to 15 minute mark, just kind of run at E-Wolves during team fights, but there
10
is a
seconds to
pretty heavy
go.
fall off with this hero that I think Lone Druid and even a pushing
Five
Chen
seconds
can
to go.
exploit quite heavily. And Elite Wolves are going to go for the Ursa as eKeepo. They're grab themselves a
Radiant's
gyrocopter. We
ban.
still have support picks to actually no. Elite Wolves, they've got the Bounty Hunter, which you know what? Elite Wolves draft is actually kind of weird because when you have a jungler, that means this bounty hunter is probably not going to be a roamer. And a support bounty,
Dyer's ban.
I'm not totally sure I can get behind that. But if it works, it works, right? They, I'm not sure though.
Radiant's
I think
pick.
the real reason the Undying was picked up is just the survivability. If they had gone with the Witch Doctor, like you mentioned, then eKeepo could be really easy to just blink in with the Ursa and rip apart the supports before anything really
True.
happens. So the Undying offers a little bit more sustain, able to go in, kind of be that front line of the team fight that you can't have Disruptor being, you can't have Gyrocopter being. So
Yep.
I really like this pick, and I think you're right. Elite Wolves gonna get a little bit funky here.
10 seconds to
The
go.
bounty hunter, I don't think will be too detrimental because as long as he's fed a quick level 6, as long as he's able to kind of lane support for a little bit, he'll be a-okay.
Dyer's
And
pick.
with Batrider there, Elite Wolves have initiation for days. Let's see if eKeep will have this survivability.
Yeah, I think they're mostly going for three heroes that can sustain well enough on their own because this bounty is not a very good support hero. He might be roaming with the Chen more often than not. Hell, the two of them might even take up the enemy's jungle. So, Batrider, Lone Druid, Ursa, all heroes that are very well known to be able to hold
10
their own in
seconds to
lane. And
go.
if this is going to be an undying, an off lane undying, then
5
a
seconds.
1v1 matchup isn't good for this guy. He wants to be able to go up against your dual lanes, your tri lanes,
Reserve
and
time.
thrive by stealing all of the strength from the enemy lineup. But if he's in a 1v1, he really doesn't have that same capability of just getting up in your face with 30,000 stacks of stolen strength. Instead, he's going to be a little bit too squishy maybe to go mano a mano, especially with someone like an Ursa who can slow him down and clean up his relatively low armor, high HP pool with a couple of Fury swipes. So this really comes down to what eKeepo have planned for their last pick, whether they're going for an offlaner still or they're going to grab a second support. That one's totally up to them, but to rehash, I'm not quite sure it'd be smart to run the solo offlane Undying, but if they do get a support, I'm still hoping out for a Witch Doctor if that's the case, but I'm thinking if anything, it's most likely a support Undying, and they're going to grab something like maybe a Darkseer for their last offlane pickup.
I don't know. I'm still sticking with my statement that it'd be really greedy to try to grab a Witch Doctor because you just offer up too much easy
Oh, I
blood.
mean, I agree. I don't think the Undying should be solo offlane. I'm just saying if they are going to grab a support, that'd be, in my opinion, the best.
Alright. Yeah, I think Undying solo off, he's survivable, but what do you really do with him? He gets big, he gets kind of hard to kill, but you mentioned it, he just doesn't
Slardar.
scale, so they're going to go with a Slardar.
Mhm.
I like this pick a lot. I think that's another huge chunk of survivability. He can be up, he can be in the front line, similar playstyle to the Ursa, just up in your face constantly from the early game.
Mhm. And Slardar has a definite plus where he can go toe to toe with a potentially solo Ursa and be able to come out on top given some good decent experience. There's no one to really zone him out. aside from maybe the threat of a bounty hunter being close by, but that threat will diminish as time goes on, considering Slardar will be able to reveal the sneaky bounty once that level 6 is acquired. So at the moment, I do really like eKeepo's draft just a tad bit more. I think it has a lot of synergy, a lot of team fight potential, and really their heroes are all super fun to watch. But Elite Wolves, they have a lineup that, given a perfect situation, can work. And I'm interested to see how exactly they're going to run this, because if they are able to get away with all three lanes, either just not dying, getting the experience they need, or both, I mean, is good, then we could see a very easy and quick game for E-Wolves to just stomp them down, bring down their outer towers, and push up onto the high ground. But eKeepo are not going to let that give that one away without a fight, and they definitely have the lineup to offer the resistance needed to be able to get those counter pushes off. So I'm looking maybe 60-40 in favor of eKeepo off draft alone. We know E-Wolves, we know that their skill level is still really high up, and eKeepo's, even though there isn't very far behind, that little bit of difference may come into play, draft or not. So a lot's going to ride on this game. eKeepo, they're hungry, they want to move on in the tournament. Elite Wolves, though, they've got the experience, and I think with one of their players ineligible, they need the cash too.
I mean, 4 of their players.
4 of their players. I thought it was only Smash and MSDCO.
Oh, maybe so. I don't know. I don't follow all that drama
Oh, so
here.
2 of their players. Huh.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna have some more drawing on the mini map, which is always a treat here. Yeah, just talking about early game strength, who do you think is going to be able to get online first? Because Ursa, you usually have a lot of fate, but going up against an Invoker that could have a very easy time in lane up against either the Bat or the Lone Druid, I'm not sure.
Oh my god, the flame, the 322 flame. Early game, again, I want to go back to my earlier point where I think
What's
the
the
early
policy,
game
Gremlin?
should go in favor of E-Wolves because the experience goes their way, but that is only if eKeepo let them play the game they want to play. I mean, you've got three pretty much solo laners with a roaming bounty hunter and a roaming Chen. So with those 3 solo laners, they're really easy to exploit. You win that lane if you put 2, maybe even 3 up against one of those solos and rotate them around to other lanes. But if that doesn't happen, E-Wolves are going to get ahead in this early game. They get the experience they need to get very far ahead, and the graph should reflect that. Come about 5 minutes from now, I think we'll be looking at maybe a 2K, 2.5K experience advantage in favor of E-Wolves just because of how they're going to lane it.
All right, well, we're heading back in here into the action, so we will find out the answer to these questions early on. So we talked about draft wins. Based on only draft and not execution, what's your percentage? I'm thinking 40-60 in favor of eKeepo.
Yeah, I agree with that actually. I mentioned 60-40 a couple moments ago. So yeah, I'm totally on board with that.
All right, there is going to be a smoke coming out from eKeepo pretty far back, actually. They're going to be rotating in pretty aggressively into the Radiant jungle. We'll see what they're able to get out of that. They've got some vision to place down, but they're not going to be finding any blood.
Yeah, this is a very ambitious smoke, and that'll allow them to get deep in, drop down the observer wards they need, while also securing the bottom rune. Like, if E-Wolves were here and ready to go after this rune, this is a level 1 that greatly favors eKeepo. I mean, we talk about Slithering Crush being a fantastic early game
30
stun.
seconds to show
Bazuri
time.
has gone for a Sunstrike, which is some pretty decent early game damage, but then you've also got Decay and Kinetic Field, which I imagine would potentially be skilled up first, just to ensure that Keepo would be able to go maybe 5v3 or 5v2 and get a kill every single time. So it's that reason that the smoke was good. They are able to get in, drop down their Observer Ward, not as deep as I figured it would be, but still not a bad Observer Ward to have. Meanwhile, Radiant, using all this space, actually will catch GIX out as he walks into the high ground, goes a bit south, but realizes there are no friends anywhere close by, only enemies, and Smash should be able to get that last right click through. It's actually Masoku to get the ball of Divine Light to slash down
much for
the
diplomacy.
gyrocopter. So mentioning the Radiant, with all this time they had, they dropped down 2 fantastic Observer Wards to get plenty of vision in eKeepo's jungle. They'll grab first blood. They get the 50-50 split on the rune. And so far, you know, not a bad start for E-Wolves to come right out of the gate.
Oh man, Keeper is actually getting cut out as well. This could be pretty ugly. It pops in the kinetic field, and it actually will catch back the Bounty Hunter, the Hellbear Smasher, and the Batrider. And now Invoker's coming in, trying to do the best he can. We'll actually get some serious damage from the Hellbear Smasher. He's underneath his own tower, and then the Sunstrike is off the mark. He goes down. Keeper may fall as well. Fairy Fire consumed from M-God. Holy hell, what is happening? E-Wolves just absolutely colonizing the Dire territory.
Yeah, they had a game plan going into this. They weren't going to go ahead and passively solo lane each of their heroes. Instead, they did what most teams fear is going to happen. They went full out, balls to the walls aggressive, and they sent 3 or 4 heroes in that mid lane to secure not only the first blood, but also get a decent dive in on what they thought would be probably a mid Invoker solo, but instead they found not only the Invoker, but one more support as well. So a fantastic movement from them, and that's not it. I mean, Bazuri's got to be very careful of the fact that there is going to be an invisible bounty hunter. MSTco is going to be around, hanging in close by, and he doesn't have any sentry wards immediately to scout him out. So in comes the air shock. They are going to hit him with the Janata, and I mean, there's way too much damage coming in. He's got no way to get away from this.
Oh, top lane, we've got another dive going through his GIX underneath his own tower. Might get just destroyed here. Smash taking some damage from the rocket barrage, as well as a couple tower shots. Looks like the hoof stomp from the centaur is off the mark. But the burning is just going through here. GIX falls as well. 5-0 in favor of E-Wolves here at 2 minutes in the game.
Yeah, so one very critical thing about the draft is that even though they are running these solo lanes, the potential of his ganking Chen is great. And it looks like they did run him in the
Van's in trouble.
aggressive jungle. Yep, Van could be in a little bit of a trouble here. The kinetic field's going to lock him back. Bazuri looking for a couple of right clicks, but of course it's not going to quite be enough. To go back to the point though, with the aggressive farming Chen inside of eKeepo's jungle, that allows him to get ganks off not only on the mid lane, but also the enemy's safe lanes. That's why things like this are incredibly possible. Having 2 roamers that can turn any 1v2 into a 3v2 or anything like that. There is going to be the tombstone dropping. Van going to make quick work to bring that one down. MSTco has already dropped, which gives eKeepo something on the board. They're now 1-5 of E-Wolves. Not a bad trade for them to get. All things said and done. But we have another aggressive dive from Smash in the top lane. This time GIX may have been a little bit more prepared. He's got the magic stick. He's also got the rocket barrage, but the damage is just coming in too quickly from the Firefly. Smash, he'll have a salve, he'll have a clarity. So even though he drops very low to the tower, he will not get brought down. And still the fighting continues.
Oh, Van. He might actually get punished here. There's going to be the kinetic field catching him out. He's taking a Thunderstrike to the head. Undying joins the party, but do they have the range to catch up to him? The final Thunderstrike ticks through, and Van's A-okay, bottling up now, and he's staying in lane.
Yeah, they didn't have Glimpse even skilled up, so there was no way they were going to be able to get that kill back there, aside from maybe a beautiful Sunstrike, but even that was kind of off the mark. So in the end, I mean, Van gets away alive. They force him off, and this rotation from eKeepo being a little bit costly in the fact that they committed so many heroes for it, but at the same time, I mean, they keep the pressure on, and that's the important part. They send a message to Elite Wolves that they're not going to let this just happen. Yep, GIX, another gank, this time with a Hellbear Smasher. He gets in the clap, and, well, everything else will just follow suit. GIX will drop to Smash's right click, and this is the best game for a Batrider I think we've seen in a very long time. He's had great experience gained from this lane, already very close to level 6 at 4.5 minutes, 1,200 gold at the ready, so more than halfway to that Blink Dagger, and 4 kills to assist to his name. I mean, again, there couldn't have been a more perfect scenario for a Batrider have, and Smash is taking every possible moment of it and really using it to his advantage. So for the moment, this Batrider is going to be something that we have to keep a very steady eye on and watch how his effectiveness will start to either increase come the next couple of minutes or decrease if eKeepo find a way to reliably deal with the potential for the lasso initiation. As Van will go around the bend. They're looking to sandwich in Kazuya. Smash is there as well. No level 6 just yet, though. Very close. Kazuya is now going to get backstabbed by Van, who chases him down with a last Fury swipe. Will get the kill. So Elite Wolves, I mean, they're now 7 kills up on the board, so individual kills may not be as important, but I mean, it's the aggression, the map pressure they're exerting that's the more important part.
Van diving really, really deep here, but Smash now with the level or yeah, he doesn't have to skill up the lasso at level 6, but oh, Kezia going down once again to the raw damage of Van. Van in that enraged form does not care about tower shots. Keeper looking to get away, pop back by the flame break and just locked in, lit on fire. Smash on a mega kill streak. He is 5-0-4. How do you put the brakes on this Batrider?
For the moment, you don't do that. I mean, that was a great play from GIX to recognize the danger and back out. And I gotta give credit to eKeepo. They were able to get him away alive, but I'm not quite sure Kazuya had to make his way into that one. He TP'd in, looking to try to punish a dive, but ended up taking a full enrage to the face, which you know is the added damage. And Missouri now getting chased down by this Ursa. The Hell Bear Clap will not connect, but the other bear ends up slashing him down regardless. And Mystico is moving in for Keeper. Has the damage, I think, with one shuriken toss to get this. And, yep, that's indeed what's going to happen. M-God getting in, getting the damage he needed, getting the kill. And now maybe he'll get away alive. The dust is going to lock him in place, though. Zap will come through and get a couple of bashes with his pike. So, for the moment, Zap will punish the Bounty Hunter. But still a fantastic dive, a fantastic kill for Elite Wolves to get on the mid Bazuri Invoker.
We're going to see Batrider pick up his Blink here. 7 minutes in the game, already having a Blink, Tranquil Boots, enough money for smokes and clarities and TPs.
Yeah.
Smash has got to be one of the richest Batriders we've seen this patch.
I would probably go a step further and maybe say this is the most farmed we've seen a Batrider this patch. Now, of course, I don't have any specific stats on that, so I can't make a call for certain, but it just feels like this is a very tough timing to hit if you're a Batrider that has been aided so much by the amount of control his team has given him. I mean, he's third highest in net worth, but everyone else on Elite Wolves are just so damn farmed that even being third highest is an accomplishment at that. I mean, take a look at the next highest, which is the fourth. It's 1,000 gold back.
Invoker.
Yep, now Missouri in a bit of trouble here. The lasso locking him in place between Van and MSTco. I mean, 13-2 right now in 18 minutes. I struggle to find a way that eKeepo are going to be able to edge themselves back in this game, aside from letting it run its course and playing it to a point where they give Elite Wolves, or they force Elite Wolves to potentially make a mistake.
I think at this point, eKeepo know that they're not really going to get a whole lot of picks unless they rotate 4 or 5 heroes into a lane. They're going to keep getting picked up if they push forward, so it comes down to how much can E-Wolves get done before it comes down to high ground advantage. And eKeepo do have a decent amount of wave clear once it comes down to super creeps, mega creeps, high ground push. E-Wolves, it's going to be really hard to get them to slow down, though.
Yeah, Van now has his own Blink Dagger, going mid against an Invoker. You typically think that the melee hero is going to have a bit of trouble, but Van's been doing a fantastic job thus far. Now with the Blink and Aegis, I mean, look at this. He goes straight in for Missouri. They've got everything they need to bring the Invoker down. I think that was, what, 4 swipes is all it took for Van to completely and utterly annihilate the Invoker, and he gets himself a Morbid Mask, because why not, right? He would have probably got himself back up to near full HP. He goes in further, though. He wants Keeper. He brings him down and then gets a free glimpse back saying, hey, I hate to eat and run, but it's going to happen. Ewo making his move and looking for the Entangle, but is not going to quite get lucky enough, or perhaps it is Kazuya, the one that is taking up all the luck here, but regardless, Tier 1 tower is going to drop. The Blink in, the lasso, and now Kazuya, perhaps a little bit after the fact, but he still will get brought down in the end. And everyone else from Elite Wolves has now pushed up into the mid lane. I mean, we're 10 minutes in, and I'm already considering the possibility of a Tier 3/high ground push. This is really unheard of right now.
Smash might be getting a little bit ambitious here. Has to go up against the Forge Spirits on the back lines. We do have M-God coming through. Could land the Shuriken toss of his life. Looks like he's going for that. The kinetic field can be off the mark here for the moment. Do they catch out M-God as Shadow Walk fades? He is going to get that Thunderstrike on himself, but oh, he's got the Blink in from Van. No mercy. They're going to have to focus on the Tombstone eventually. And Van taking a lot of damage here. Will have his Aegis popped, but again, the kill score is 17-2, and that is just so true.
Yeah, Van taking an awful lot from the Rocket Barrage. They're looking for the Slithering Crush. It does come through, but Van, he's being kept alive by the hand of God. The track's now out onto Zap as the Firefly coming through. 3 tracks, actually, as Kizia the first to drop. Zap trying to go toe-to-toe with Masoku, but not winning that one as Van makes his way in to get the follow-up kill here. GIX also brought down 3 track kills for nothing as into the mid lane. The Tier 3, well, the Tier 3 is already dead. The racks are pretty damn close to follow. 10, 11 minutes into this game. And this could be it. Annie, we may have just seen the fastest game in the tournament so far.
Going, and I think the plan is to get the kill score to 3-2-2. You gotta kind of go for it when you're in this position.
You think they can get 11 kills in 2 minutes?
I mean, they're gonna have to try. I think eKeepo's not going to tap out till then. They've been drawing 3-2-2 on the mini-map. It is the living meme right now.
Oh, please, no memes, please. Yeah, eKeepo, they're going to still try to hold on. They're looking for a little bit of a Pyrrhic victory and getting the bear, but even that is proving to be a little bit too difficult, as now they move in. Smash once again. They've got GIX and Zap locked in. Bazuri's already dead. Van, well, I mean, he just sliced him up to pieces and chewed him up. It's really becoming no resistance right now. Kazia will drop very shortly. I mean, it's almost like watching a giant raging forest fire go, and Keepo, they threw a piece of paper at it to try to slow it down. I mean, there's nothing, no resistance, no way to stop what's going on for Elite Wolves, and nothing short of a miracle would bring Keepo back into this game. Hell, maybe even Miracle couldn't do it.
I don't know, I've seen him bring back some crazy situations before. We're gonna have Keeper tracked up here. I think we're feeding. I think this is what's happening.
I mean, you gotta at least try to get some wards down, right?
Gotta feed the memes, man. That's what it's all about here. We're gonna have GIX going through. He has the call down in 3 seconds. We'll see if he uses it or just turns that into tasty helicopter meat.
Tasty helicopter meat sounds fantastic, but I'm afraid that's not exactly what helicopters are made out of.
You don't know their life?
No, you're right, because they're inanimate. I mean, there is no life to know.
I'm Attack Helicopter Cannon. I am very triggered. We're gonna see the Tier 2 going down here in the top lane.
He's not the only thing going down. Kazia, I mean...
It's really... okay. How do you cast a game like this?
Exactly how we're casting it.
Yeah, I guess that's a logical answer. Forge Spirits gobbled up. If we look at net worth chart, it's...
Please, no. I think the only story that needs to be told is the fact that every single hero on Elite Wolves is higher than every single hero on eKeepo. I mean, the support Chen has more than 1,000 more gold than the most farmed hero on eKeepo. Like,
they want to make the kill score 32-2. eKeepo's drawing it on the map. I'm gonna screenshot the hell out of that. Preserve these memes for the century. We're gonna have a.
Missouri's gonna be the first little bit of water in the pool here. Make sure they can get there. They only need 3 more. I mean, it's close. We can feel it. Keeper and Kizia, they're in there. They're 2 of the 3. That's all we need. Kizia's gonna go down. 32. Keeper, he's dropping very close. 31-2. GIX, he's there. Smash. He comes up onto the high ground. He's gonna screw it up.
It's happening. We're so close. We just need the gyrocopter. We need 1 more. Slardar, meanwhile, in the bottom lane, he's looking. Oh god, the throw to make sure it didn't actually go 3-2-2. I think Equal's a little bit salty about the memes here. It's just gonna... okay, there's the cheat sheet coming out.
I have nothing to say, Annie. After that game, I have honestly nothing to say. So, 14 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm pretty sure this game didn't take as long as the draft did.
Oh no, it did not.
Let that soak in for a moment. And while it's soaking in, guys, stick around because after that, there is still more Dota to play. And it'll be coming up after a short break. So I'm going to run a couple of ads, get you guys in the mood for some more Dota. We'll be right back.